Thank you Thank you so much for the tag, StealthBadger. I really appreciate that. I think it's the first one I've ever gotten. I'm really behind on my YouTube PMs, so I don't actually know for sure that it's the first one I've gotten, but it's the first one I've known that I've gotten. The first question is, think of a stereotype that you think is true, you believe it to be true. Are there any stereotypes I believe to be true? I have been racking my brain, and I cannot think of any stereotypes that I actually think are true. And I'm defining true as being true most of the time, or as generally holding to be a reasonable description of reality, of the way things are. Maybe I just don't know a lot of stereotypes, or maybe I tend to be hyper aware of stereotypes that are broken, but I cannot think of any stereotypes that I actually believe to be really true. Or this conversely could be, I'm not actually aware of my prejudices because I'm not aware that I hold them because they haven't been shown to me. So, gosh, I don't know. If I really had to, oh great, I'm going to bring this back to religion like always. If I really had to think about it, generally, the people who I've met who tend to be Bible literalists or religious conservatives, or in Texas, political conservatives, also tend to be very strict on rules, very uncomfortable when rules are broken. They tend not to have a lot of confidence in their own ability to deal with things that happen that are outside of the box. Like right now, I'm totally off script. There's no script, and I'm doing all right, I think. But what I'm trying to I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm not sure. There seems to be a strong correlation between people who are religiously conservative and people who are very uncomfortable with shades of gray. There. I believe that to be true. The second question was, are there any stereotypes that you believe to be false? What I have found throughout my life, I've been astonished. Ooh. Can you see that? Oh, where'd it go? Gorgeous. Alright, a stereotype that I found to be false, or that I believe to be false. Okay, just about anything anybody says, if it starts with females do this, or if it starts with males do this, or females and males are different in this way, just about anything that crappy comedians resort to for their jokes. If it's about cats, if it's about dogs, if it's about males and females, I find those to be generally false. And that's partly because I was always astonished at the stereotypes I would find people were applying to me. For example, females aren't as brainy, or females aren't as interested in technical stuff, or they're not as good at science, or they're not as good as at math, or males don't cry, or females are always more emotional and males are always more logical. I have found that people would assume, since I was female, that I was a gossip, or that I couldn't handle, what was it that I built for my sister? Any assumptions or prejudices or stereotypes people had about genders generally didn't apply to me. And So I began to mistrust stereotypes from a very early age. If somebody would say, this kind of people are like this, I immediately would think skeptically about that claim because I had heard that claim, those kinds of claims applied to me as a child, and I knew they weren't true. So gosh, I guess I never really thought about it, but I think having stereotypes misapplied to me was a very formative thing. In a good way. Sort of. Once you get past the pain. There are probably a lot of stereotypes that do apply to me that I'm not aware of because I've grown up very much a part of my white, affluent, primarily Protestant, primarily conservative, primarily suburban area, and there are probably advantages about that viewpoints that I've never even heard of, and so I probably fit squarely in some stereotypes that I'm not aware of. But what's a stereotype that I'm aware of that I fit into? What is a stereotype that I believe applies to me? This is rather painful. I think I discovered it on Monday of this week. No, Tuesday. I went to a talk, a philosophy get-together, and the talk was about environmentalism and environmental justice and different ways to think of that. And partway through the speech, this presenter's speech, I was thinking about this is rather painful to relive, but partway through the presenter's speech, I was thinking, oh gosh, it's a good thing I don't believe all of this stuff. Partway through the presenter's speech, I was thinking, oh gosh, it's a good thing I don't believe all of this stuff, because if I did, I mean, I would just be one of those people that my parents talk about, that I hear about on Fox News all the time, you know, atheistic, liberal, environmental crazies. I so badly don't want to add any more adjectives or descriptions. I don't want to fit in any of those boxes that so many people around me so despise. But the more I learn, the more I figure out that I am one of those people. Oh, I keep thinking, oh geez, I don't want to be a bleeding heart liberal. Oh my gosh, I don't want to be a crazy environmentalist. I can't remember the adjectives people put in front of them. I do not want to be another atheistic scientist because frankly, I am accruing a lot of labels. I don't like labels, but I'm accruing a lot of labels that are going to be very, very difficult for my family and my friends to deal with. I can't pinpoint an exact stereotype, but the idea that biologists tend to be environmentalists, and environmentalists tend to be liberal, and liberals tend to be atheist, or at least not morally relativistic, but relativistic about religion. These are stereotypes that I hear, kind of hinted about, and for me, I hate to even say it, but I'm fitting the profile. If a profile is a stereotype, I'm starting to fit into one. So between wind gusts here, I will say I thank you again, StealthBadger, for thinking of me in this tag, and thank you to everyone who's watching the video, and I hope you guys are enjoying the return of spring in the northern hemisphere, if it's made it to where you are, and in the south, I hope you like fall. Isn't that... oh man, I'm so northern hemisphere biased. Just consider stereotypes, try to be aware of your prejudices, and skeptically consider why you hold those prejudices and whether you should. Peace.